Hey, you found Alex, and tonight's on the blog. We're gonna talk about my one of my other favorite bands, Green Day, and just about the history of the band and how I also think it's a really influential band. Green Day started, I think, when the two founding members, Billy Joe Armstrong, the lead singer and lead guitar, and as well as the bassist Mike Dirnt, about 1987, they were like teenagers, growing up, and they started the first group, Sweet Children, and gained minor success in the whole California scene, and just eventually they started Green Day in the early 90s, and in 1994, their album, I forgot which album it was, but was it Dookie? Was it? Shit. I don't, remember. Nah. Wow. I think it was Dookie. Yeah, the one that had Long View and all the good songs. And just, yeah, they really hit it off, I guess. In the 90s, they were kind of like one of those cult bands. You either liked them or you didn't. And it was always just, a lot of people really hate Green Day a lot. It's like shit you wouldn't even realize, but just there's a lot of Green Day haters. I remember growing up wearing my Green Day shirt to school, and people would be like, "Hey, Green Day sucks," or even out in public, and they'd be like, "Yeah, fuck Green Day." It's just like, of course, the best way to put Green Day is in two different eras. There's the classic '90s Green Day. You remember songs like "Long View" and "Brain Stew," "Time of Your Life," "Welcome to Paradise." Then what really hit him off was in 2004 or 5 when American Idiot came out. And this was probably definitely one of the most influential albums of our time, I'd say. And it's just really a big deal because they talk about a lot of things, like America and issues and just all kinds of things like that. And, about the social status of the world and how things like money and, you know, social distortion change things. And just, kind of what they do is a lot of people didn't like what they're doing. They're kind of like in a whole anti-America thing. Of course, when you think of American Idiot, you think of Bush, you know, and that's the kind of thing they're going behind. And they, like I remember Brandon Flowers disapproved of Green Day's thing because what they did was they had a really big live album called Bullet in a Bible, and they performed it somewhere in the United Kingdom, I remember, and just like he'd be like, "I'm gonna play this song real loud so all the faggots in America can hear it." And, you just really you see that this is kind of like, does he really hate America, or is he just kind of like, is he just trying to be cool? And a lot of ethics come into concern when it comes to what Billy Joe Armstrong meant through his music, I guess, and just a lot of people don't know this, but the album American Idiot is actually a rock opera. Like if you've ever heard the Who's music, Quadrophenia, Tommy, those are all rock operas, and they all tell a story. They could put all the songs together. They tell a story, and they've actually been working on a movie out here. I don't know if it's in development yet or like post production, but they're trying to get this movie together, and I'd hella want to see it. If I ever get the chance or if they ever make the movie. But it's definitely a must. And they got two songs on there called "Jesus of Suburbia" and "Homecoming," both of which are like 9-minute long songs, and they definitely tell the big story. You realize from like his lyricism and just they're beautifully written songs. I mean, if you listen to them and the way he puts together and the whole thing about the album revolves around characters, just Saint Jimmy, and he's the Jesus of Suburbia, and they talk about these people like what's her name, and just women in his life, and just how these two people relate to each other in terms of socialism and just how the world and Western civilization has been changing recently, I guess, and just it's definitely because you ask anyone in the world what if you've listened to American, they have because that song is just, I mean, not just the song, but just the album is just a really big deal. And like you think about big rock albums in 2000, that's definitely got to be number one, if not in the top five. I mean, you look at that show they had when they performed Bullet in the Bible, and they had a freaking like, that's probably Rolling Stone, that was like the top five biggest like concert shows of all time. They performed to so many people, and just what they do is it's definitely changed the music world a lot, and I think so. So I salute Green Day and their musical endeavors, and I hope their new album coming out sometime soon is a big hit, and just yeah, that's how it is. Is it off?